Our post-lunch session will look forward to evolving role of EdTech in higher education, the future of learning and skilling. For the same, I would like to call our moderator, Dr. T.R. Pandey, Director, Ajay Kumar Garg Institute of Management, Ghaziabad. Can we have a round of applause for sir? Professor K.S. Rana, Vice Chancellor, Starex University, Gurugram. Dr. Vikas Dhawan, Pro Vice Chancellor, Shree Guru Gobind Singh Tricentenary University. Can we have a round of applause for our panelists? Professor Dr. Rashmi Gujrati, Director, KC Group of Institutions. Dr. Hani Sharma, Campus Director, Gulzar Group of Institute, Ludhiana. Dr. B.K. Banga, Principal, Amritsar Group of Colleges, Amritsar. Can we have a round of applause for this panel?
As the topic of this session is evolving role of EdTech in higher education, the future of learning and skilling, higher education track. The topic is really very interesting. I don't know to what extent we will be deliberating upon it in such a short span of time. I was listening to earlier sessions here only. So very interesting, words were coming out and ideas were coming out. Some of us were against, this extreme use of EdTech technology. Some of us, of course, were favoring. But one thing is quite certain, we cannot leave our generation helpless. We cannot leave them in dark when the whole world has, leapfrogged on the other side of the story. So that's a fact. And as far as technology is concerned, it will evolve, revolve, survive. We also have to keep pace with it. It will change. And these platforms will work as, I believe, nodes, connecting nodes to changes in the technology, whatever will be coming our way. So we have to keep pace with all that. As far as EdTech role in higher education is concerned, there is no escape now. We have to go by the stream. We have to go by the flow. Because I believe the whole world is a platform of learning. There is no east, west. There is no north and south. It is all a single platform. So wherever and from which side this knowledge is coming, we have to accept it. We have to learn. We have to apply that. We cannot keep our borders so much knowledge-proof that we are left behind. Not wasting too much of a time. I have jotted down a few points here to have answers of those points so that you get aware with all that. So to start with, Professor K.S. Rana. What is that is holding us back? When it comes to EdTech, is it mindset of the people that is holding us back? Because we as Indians are often very conservative. We take a lot of time in, coming out and accepting certain things. So is it mindset, that people are not ready to accept this platform or these technologies or, these forums to learn something, towards their career advancement and progression?
Basically, this corona epidemic brings us to this technological scenario. Otherwise, students were not regular to it. Authorities were also not regular to it. I had been Vice Chancellor at that time in Nainital, Kumar University, first time when corona came to us. It was a serious matter that we have about 250 lakhs students in our university at that time, containing more than 200 colleges. But most of the students were not in favor of the this system of education. Ultimately, I bring the matter to the Chief Minister that time, Mr. Trivendra Singh Rawat. And that was the scenario that all the students were against the online system of education even after epidemic. Anyhow, I managed it, convinced the students, and the first semester coming after all of COVID in March, and the first semester exam were in December, I convened that exam in both the modes. Some students picked up for offline mode, some goes to online mode. After that, during 3 years, we picked up the things according to the present scenario. So the circumstances, whenever we are prepared, the circumstances prepare our students or scientists to adopt the ways what are need of the hour, and it is necessity which invents the different modes of education or educational technologies, what I feel. So it is, I think, now most important part of life that we have to go to this scenario. We can't write off it, and we have to take maximum feedback from different type of educational instrumentation or different type of gadgets. This is my mindset that now we are on the verge of change in the education system. Education policy 2020 have also bring us to this mode that we must follow this education mode by the proper media system and gadgets. No.
Thank you, Professor Rana. You rightly told. We cannot avoid it. We have to go by it. It's a compulsion thrown by environment, thrown by circumstances upon us. We have to live by that. There is no look back. Now, going forward, there's a talk these days whether it will get a boost further or it will stagnate at the place where it is at the moment. So take it again to Dr. Vikas, Dhawan, sir. I'll take up your view, sir, as to what to do. I mean, do we require to give a special boost to this particular sector? It is already boosted up.
You very well know, Doctor, I am a preacher of this technology. My greetings of the day to one and all, off and on the desk. See, as far as technological usage in education is concerned, I am really in favor of that. There are few advantages that I will like to list in front of all the August gathering. Actually, I was working on this technological, usage in education before COVID also, almost 2 years prior to COVID. We all talk of slow learners, fast learners, formative assessments. And in India, when you talk about formative assessment, you talk about final exams also. How can you judge the knowledge of a child in 3 hours? You may be asking him 8 questions and he may not be able to answer that, but you cannot say he's a poor guy. He may know more than you, but on a particular piece of time, he may not be in a position to answer that. So I am always in favor of technology, because if you talk about formative assessment anywhere, anytime, then you have to use technology. When you talk about new education policy, right now the gross enrollment ratio, GER, that you talk about is just 28%. We talk about getting it to 50%. How can you do it with the present infrastructure, with almost 1,050 universities across India? You don't have enough seats, enough infrastructure to create that. And if you create one university every week, then only you will be able to meet that by 2030. So then again, you have to use technology. And then when you talk about, professionals, old people, they may be shy to sit with young ones. They have to upgrade their knowledge. I always say, go to school, back to school. That means if you are a professional, that every 3 years, the technology gets outdated. The way you are doing analysis in an industry gets outdated. The different production machineries get outdated. You get new robotic machineries. You have to learn those. You have to learn those new techniques. Then even the professionals are asked to go back to the good universities and get themselves trained with the latest management rules and all that stuff. So again, they may be shy to sit there. Then what will happen is technology again comes to the resort. He can sit at his home, maybe do a course from an Edtech company, or maybe by Oxford, maybe by Stanford, sitting at his home, and he can complete that on an online process. One more thing, that it is cost effective also. Just imagine that 20 years ago, you may ask your kid to go to Oxford, then you have to bear all the travel expenses, the stay expenses, all that stuff. And the same professor is teaching in that class who is giving the online classes. It is just a mindset actually. Old school of thought people will say there is lack of human connect and there is lack of emotions and all that stuff. But I personally believe that if you are focused and if you are there to learn, these things are not a hindrance. Right now I am working on the metaverse things. When you talk about metaverse, there you won't have even the real picture of the professor who is teaching you. There will be avatar that we talk about. You'll be educating people in gamings. So when we are, the world is quickly traveling towards metaverse, and I'm sorry to say we are still discussing about these, that whether Edtech companies should be accepted or not, whether the online courses should be accepted or not. And then UGC comes up with the second rule that you can do 2 degrees at a time. And how can you do 2 degrees at a time if you don't have technology? So again, one course has to be online. And when you talk about online, then India is a country who accepts Swayam portal in a way that, yes, it is the best. But I say that if you are accepting online courses from Massachusetts, maybe from Oxford, maybe from Stanford, there can be certain, level of degrees that you can maintain. And then you should accept those courses also. Then I talk about assessment. If you want to assess each and every child in a beautiful way as a professor, you can do it with technology. You can use different set of questions for different students and make them to answer. Let me give you a beautiful example. Say one question opens for the entire forum who is sitting here. And suppose 80 people are not able to answer. Then the second question that will open will be simpler to the previous one. And for the 20 people who answered it correctly, the second question will be at a more difficult level. So you can increase the difficulty level, you can reduce the difficulty level, and judge each and every person where he stands. And from there, from scratch, you can start the teaching. So these are, I think they are very useful things using technology. You can play as a teacher, you can do a lot of stuff. And I think evolution and innovation is law of nature, and we should readily accept it.
So thank you so much, Dr. Vikas. Shall I take that new education policy itself is a booster dose to Edtech? That is what I suppose you can conclude, right, sir?
I told you I was working prior to COVID also, and this new education policy came late. But I am happy that people are accepting what I was thinking earlier. And let's see, because to be honest, sitting here itself, I am telling you that 3 years down the line, you won't teach how the war of Panipat happened. You will show the student how it happened. In metaverse, you can show anything. Using AR, VR, you will be showing him how that war was fought and what happened, what exactly things were there. So I normally say in many forums that you won't teach this, that who was the father of Humayun or who was the father of Akbar. It's completely useless to ask a child to come into a class to teach him history. What you are going to change in history? You cannot change Akbar's father. Akbar's father will remain the same. So why not to teach him online? So he can use his, time in a very fruitful way. So kids nowadays are very smart. They have their goals fixed and they are aggressive. I've got a young kid at my home and he says I will retire at the age of 45. So without technology, it is not possible. So the way we were brought up, why I say evolution and innovation is law of nature. you cannot expect that, the way your schooling was done, you will keep on doing that. With metaverse coming in, I will love that all of you should go to the YouTube and just see education in metaverse, and you will find all the answers in the book.
Now, next question to Dr. Rashmi, madam. Ma'am, we are, however, so-called developed economies, we are being touted across, but actually we are still poor because India lies in villages, And when it comes to education, being a welfare state, we say that education has to be equitable. I mean, equity aspect of education has to be guaranteed. It must be accessible. It must be at the same time affordable. So what role these edtechs they are going to play to ensure that it is equitable, I mean, equity, accessibility, and affordability aspect of education is guaranteed as enshrined in the constitution and being talked here and there on different platforms, because sitting in Lalit, at times in sitting in Taj, with so much of a huge glitterity, we cannot decide. I believe that is what is my question.
Thank you very much, sir. Myself, Professor Dr. Rashmi Gujrati, and I am from KC Group of Institution, Nawanshahr. Today, our topic is related with that how the technology has been entered in the higher education. As I remember very well that when the announcement was that from 22nd March, there will be a lockdown. And we all were stuck in our home. All the education has been closed, all the colleges has been closed. What happened? Slowly, all the businesses have been moved from offline to online. But that time we were thinking that how we will move our education in the online sector. But what happened after the 15 days, we have moved and we have started to take the classes through Google. And we have started to teach our students that how to work on the Google. Same thing earlier when there was any kind of conference in the international, we were doing that conferences through Skype. But we are not more habitual that on the Skype. When I remember that my one interview was conducted on the Skype, then I was very happy that two people were outside and I am here and I have given my interview. But see, at the time of the COVID, what has been changed, that everything has been moved toward from offline to online, and 2 years, we have spent that time through online. We have taught our students online. We have explained everything. And in that time, we can see that lot of the workshop from the higher education, lot of the seminar, conferences has been conducted. Faculty development program has been conducted. Means that when if we think about that, some people say that technology is entering same. In the previous session, the madam was saying that technology is not good. But if we talk about the higher education, now the era is, as sir has explained, that in future, more and more advanced technology is coming, and when we are entering in the metaverse, then what is going there? They are also same when we are in the conference and we see that all are online, but we will feel that we are in front of each other. So in the higher education, very important that we have to develop the learning and we have to develop the skills, because in future technology has adopted from every business. Our students, those who are going to get a job in the market, that time also they need a good knowledge of the technology. If they don't have a technology knowledge, they will not suffer in the market. They will not be stand in that companies nowadays, and we can say that lot of the companies has started work from home now also after the opening of the country. So now lot of the companies think that if online work can be done in our business, that is very good, because that save time, that save money, that save lot of the expenses. But how they will run, so it depends on us. We higher education are the important role. We are playing very important role that we have to teach to our students. And our students are more intelligent than us. If we go our new education policy in the NEP, we should be ready that there is a multitask students coming in front of us. If the teachers are not active, if teachers are not prepared to teach them with advanced technology means that our students are more advanced because they have a mobile. And every students know that whatever they want to search, they can search from a Google. And they are, I can say that they are more intelligent than us. So if we are a teacher, if we talk about the digital transformation, okay, in the digital transformation we say that the network is going on, online is going on. Same thing, we are also transforming our knowledge to our students. So in the higher education, that is very important with the new education policy that we have to update ourselves. All the businesses are running with the technology, so our students should be skilled, they should be stand in the market. With this technology, a lot of the students have started their startup through technology, and this technology has helped a lot of to our students. They are learning more and more, and with that, the student will stand very easily in the market. And when we talk about the technology and education, so already in 2 years we have learned a lot of things. And before, we are also not more habitual about the use of the internet. But now, everything is going through. If we have some meeting and if say that come online, we will do a meeting on Google Meet or any Zoom or any Microsoft Teams, so we are ready because we know that it is very fruitful when we are waiting to meet someone. So in the higher education, if we talk about the future, then learning and to skilled students is a very important. So according to my opinion, I say that we should ready, then our student will be ready for this technology.
No offense to ma'am, I would like to add few things to it. See, Edtech or technology is quite cost effective. It is also risk free. Let me explain you why I say this. Suppose if you have to teach the students how to, take care of fire in a building, a professor can put fire anywhere on a simulation platform and ask the student to see how they ask the, all the people who are present in the building to move out safely. One is this. Now we are talking after COVID about technology. We all know that Indian pilots were already being trained on simulators. You cannot, ask straight away a person to be driving that MiG-29 straight away. So technology was again being used. So we have, in my university, in SGT University, we have world's 4th largest nursing simulation center. The nurses, they are injecting intravenous injections and all that. We got simulating mannequins, and we teach almost 50% of nursing on those mannequins and on those simulators. How the birth is given to a baby, how they need to take care. So what I'm trying to say is it is risk-free also. You make a student to learn many things. You can almost impart 50% of skilling using simulations. And rest, I agree that you have to meet offline and you have to go on straight away on the real life situations and then learn more things. As far as academics is concerned, reading and this rotten things, you can do at home also.
Great. Dr. Hani Sharma, he's campus director of Gulzar Group of Institutes, Ludhiana. Sir, these days, of course, sir was, and ma'am was very right, sir spoke very well on that, that COVID was a bad opportunity, I'll say, for this sector to grow in an unanticipated manner. So what has happened, everybody knows, the companies, they hired people a lot. Now they are sanitizing their decisions, gradually. What are the challenges for the industry, you see going ahead, sir?
Very warm good afternoon to all of you. I will start from the Edtech. So this Edtech make the education a fun. It gives the opportunity to the student to manage their time. There is not a classroom like you have to sit from 9 to 9:30 or 9 to 9:45 and you have to hear this particular lecture. And at that time, the student mind can be at some cricket match, or his brother or sister is attending some marriage. So he is physically in the classroom, but mentally at some other place. So this Edtech gives this opportunity to all the learners, including us, the faculty members, teachers to learn at their own pace. So this is the beauty of this Edtech. Now, yes, there is many benefits of this technology. Like a student at some remote village, he or she can access the lectures of IIT professor or any CEO of any company. But at the same time, there is certain issues with this Edtech. One is with the attention level of the students. Even if we try to attend any lecture at any of the platform, and if there is not an assessment on the regular intervals, we get bored after 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And in the case of students, there is a study which says the average attention time of the student is about 8 minutes. So after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, the student will shift to the WhatsApp, Facebook. There are many things. So this is the one issue which needs to be addressed. The second, these Edtech startups or companies are growing like mushroom farming. But we are not concerned about the quality of the delivery. Whether the delivered content is up to the mark, or at the same time, the person who is delivering that content, is that person is capable to do that? So there are certain questions like this. But still I will say this Edtech is an add-on to the regular classroom and we cannot escape from it. This is a platform by which the students can be made employable. In the affiliated colleges or the schools which are affiliated from any board, there are certain restrictions regarding the curriculum. And that curriculum is that much heavy, you cannot think beyond that curriculum. So this Edtech platform gives an opportunity to the students or the schools and colleges to add something new to the existing curriculum of the students. They can make them employable, they can fill the gap between the industry and the education sector. There are certain platforms which are running by some MNCs or software companies, like one I name Infosys Springboard. So that is Springboard. That is completely free of cost. And this platform is so much beautiful that they have about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 lectures, 15 lectures courses, and student can attend that courses, pass the assessment, and get the certification. And these certification can help the students to get placed. So this is the beauty. In the last question, the sir talked about the equity. And this Edtech is a perfect answer to the equity. So we have some platforms, Edtech platforms, which are AI enabled, in which the system can see the capability of the students. They can adjust the pace of the delivery at the same time the pace of the assessment to make the student comfort, to make the students' interest in that particular lecture, and the end result is much better than the regular classroom teaching. So I think this Edtech is now a part of the teaching and we cannot escape from it. It is like an icing on the cake and it is the future of the education sector. Thank you.
As in the new education policy, when we are talking about the dual courses, that time also the student will get a benefit, the dual degree, and they can get a value-added certificate course also. So through online, the student can learn a lot of things. Even our government has also started Swayam, MOOC and MPTEL. Through that also student can get certificate courses. And with that we have now getting an opportunity that in the international universities has also started their online courses. So if the online courses are running, then according to their time they can get the certificate course, they can get any kind of degrees, so they can boost them, because now everything is changing and in future everything will be changed. If we talk that industry 4.0, now we are moving to 5.0. but 4.0 is still lacking, and here is our role that we have to teach to our student. So in the education, if technology has entered, so it is a very better for our bright future, for our students' future. Because as we know very well, that if we have to grow the nation, we have to grow the study. So it is a most important role of the teachers, of the professors in the education department to move themselves in the technology. As sir has told that it's true that we affiliated colleges are bound with the curriculum and what the syllabus has been given by the university, we have to run our classes. But with that, what extra activities we can give through online, that is also very good. Even government has given us a IIC portal, and in that also we are running lot of the activities for the entrepreneurship, innovation, etc. For that also, we are trying to motivate our students. We are trying to boost them that how they can start their business, how they can do an innovative task through that. In the COVID time, a lot of things has been learned, businesses has been moved, even the entertainment also moved, and now people are not interested to go in the hall, and through the Netflix and other channels are there, through that they are enjoying their home. So with that, what is happening? A lot of things are happening. There is a time saving, money saving, lot of learning and knowledge with this technology. In the education, if we say that technology has been entered, so it is very important for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Next question I'll have for Dr. V.K. Banga. Sir, because most of the questions, they are quite intermingling and very much overlapping. So I don't know which part to ask to whom, but still, yes, I believe I'll be getting better answer from you, sir. What are the opportunities, that India may lose if they go for Edtech? Because here itself, sir, we were listening to people, we are having divergent views. That amounts to say that there will be certain opportunities we'll be losing. For example, a few days back, I was talking to my son, he's preparing for, his engineering these days. Every Tom, Dick and Harry is bent on cracking IT, So he says, मुझे पढ़ने दो, disturb मत करो. हमने कहा, चलो मेरे साथ थोड़ा सा बैडमिंटन खेल लेते हैं. नहीं, मुझे पढ़ने दो. वो नहीं हट रहा है और ये लगातार पिछले 1 महीने से हो रहा है. तो मुझे लगा कहीं न कहीं कि वो फिजिक्स वाले का बहुत बड़ा फैन हो चुका है. फिजिक्स वाला एडटेक है सर, आप जानते होंगे. तो कहीं न कहीं they are taking a toll. I mean, this addiction, this kind of edtech addiction, it is taking a toll on the physical health of the nation, sir. Because I mean, if it is taking a toll on the physical health of students or these children, of course that will tend to amount to say that it is national loss. So what is your comment, sir?
Yes. First of all, thanks to the Elets for giving me opportunity. So as we know, in the technical education, or we can say higher education, there is a 45,000 higher education institute in our country. And if we talk about the universities, there are 1,000 universities in our country. If we move to the next level, how we assess the quality of any higher education? So definitely the mind is a NAC. So if we go to the NAC, there is a 6,000 institute only accredited by NAC. So there is a huge gap in the quality in our big diversified country. So it's not a single model. It's not any technology will help out to help our students. No, it's not that. So very important is our teacher. They are the real creator and they are very important. These tools, EdTech tools, are just to assist them so that they can show the things which are not possible on the board or maybe with the chalk. They just add on. It's just an add-on. So there are two kinds of students all around. One is self-motivated and other one your teacher need to motivate. So it's a big difference here. In our country, most of the students are coming to institutions and they are not much self-motivated. Teacher role is just to uplift their morale so that they can go through that and they can attain the new heights. The role of teacher is totally different. And the EdTech tool is just to complement that, support them. So we have to understand this fine gap. And if we only rely on the technology, I think we lost our youth, we passion in our youth, and diversified nature of our environment. So that is very important. On another part, nowadays with the technology, if you just, I interact with my students normally, and what I find, there is so much loneliness and there is so much mental issues with them. That is a great issue. Even their parents have that same issues. Even they didn't find likes on their Facebook post, they get worried. Even the parents, even the students. Even their like colleagues or even their peers, they not praise them in the morning, then they are worried. So that is the big question here. Although we all are in higher education, but these parameters has to be taken care, and this is to be taken care by faculty only, it's not by any technology. So we have to be careful about using this technology. Just to think that if you need to explain some concept, just to add a video in your class. And secondly, you have to talk with your student also on the other side. I think this blend will definitely do wonders, and COVID definitely, it's a gift for the education sector, I can say, because every teacher has learned these tools, how to operate, even school teacher, even small kids can now, they can attend classes online, they can view videos. I think it's a really great opportunity in the education sector. And we have it's a big loss also to the student. They are not physically active during last 2 years during the COVID. So we have to take care both the side of mental health as well as their technical requirement or maybe their education. So I think these two parameters together. Thank you. This is all about me from my side.
So I would like to add something.
Yeah, I would like to add something. You know, when you go to a doctor, he gives you medicine, excess of everything is bad. So it is a very dicey question that how India is going to suffer. You know, many people say happiness quotient will stoop down because screen time will increase. You know, there will be a lot of effect on eyesight. People will not be emotional. Emotional connect will not be there. You won't have good sportsmen because they will be on screens. I say, let me give you the different aspects of it. I say you can always produce good sportsmen because he can study anywhere, anytime. You know, whenever he gets time, he can do his degree, he can complete his degree. The second thing is about emotional connect. I am always in the favor of having a hybrid system where offline, online, both, you know, situations are there. All the times you can ask the student to come in for a few classes and then few classes he can attend from anywhere. You can fix up, instead of having 75% attendance offline, you can say that, okay, 30% attendance offline and rest you can complete online. Now, why happiness quotient is going to decrease? I'm not getting that point. You know, when it comes to education, we say happiness quotient is going to decrease. I would like all the people who are sitting in this hall to check their screen time on their mobiles. You know, it will be in fact more than your kids. So the point is, if you are not happy, so that means it is very true. But yes, you know, things have to be appropriately used. So it is just a boon in disguise, and you have to use it in an appropriate way. I don't think there will be any loss if we use this thing in a correct fashion.
Now I'll come back to Professor Rana. Sir, a few days back, I was listening to Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe. And before that, when Dharmender Pradhan also was quoted as saying him something, you know. Anil Sahasrabudhe ji says, in answer to a question, that Edtech, or for that matter, if I substitute that with online education, cannot be used in primary education. Even it cannot be, you know, it cannot play a complementary role. Because interaction first hand in physical form, you cannot replace with technology. Number one. Number two, Dharmender Pradhan ji was more or less echoing the same thought. What is your say, sir? Because you have got, generations of experience, and I believe a better light can come from you.
Basically, the question is, we are discussing about elite class. The students and faculty coming from city orientation, we can discuss all the gadgets. But I am discussing about the students and educational setup in hilly areas, Northeast, Uttarakhand, Himachal. There is no network. And there is so poor students that is demanded so many times, sir, fees maaf kar dijiye. Now how to expect from those students that they can go to education technology? That's why I earlier told that I asked the CM that I will go for both models in examinations. Hamari poor country, 67% population is residing in rural background or hilly areas. There is question of bread and butter. How we can expect from those students and those families that they must be connected to this scenario. So that time, I raised the question before the CM and the then HRD Minister, Mr. Nissank, he already hailed from Hillside, UK, that first of all, you provide them gadgets from government funding. If you can't provide them mobiles, you can't provide them networking, then how can I expect that the student will follow you? We have 70% population residing in rural and 33% population below poverty line. The question raised for those persons, those students and those families and teachers, by this time they are not prepared to provide online education. This question is main focus. Our teachers, they came from rural background. The professors, 50% came from that background. You can't expect that they can follow your EduTech. This is the basic question, and I recommended it to the UGC. At that time, the chairman, UGC, Mr. D.K. Singh, and the Chief Minister and Governor, that first you provide facilities to the students as well as to the teachers so that they can come prepared. This is the fundamental question.
Thank you, sir. You have given a very, very good question. But first of all, really, I want to ask, and we all are from the education department. You said that lot of time poor students come to us and they say, कि sir या madam हमारी fees माफ कर दो, we are not able to this fee. Absolutely right, because I also face this situation. But we have to understand, really, our that students are poor. Did we saw that they have a very good mobile? They are carrying very good mobile with them. Even we people are a professor, we think that we have to purchase an Apple phone or not, because it cost is 1 lakh or 1 lakh plus. But those students are carrying Apple phone. Really, we are a poor country. We have to understand this. Not to go on the GDP ratio, not to go on the given of the lines by the government of the news channel, but we have to first of all understand this. Number two, when we talk that in the education, yes, when we have choose this line, we become a teacher means that we have to update ourselves. Why in the UGC, or why we say that research work is important for a faculty member? Why we say that API is important for the faculty member? We have did our qualification, we have completed our graduation, we have completed our master degree, we have completed PhD. Now I am able to teach in degree college or professional college. But only bookish teaching is not updating us, because book has been already edition 1, edition 2, edition 3. But we have to update ourselves, and that is why the research is very important for us. That is why when we try to review the paper, we read the paper of other who has wrote, and we learn lot of things. Before coming here, we all those who are here invited, we all were prepared ourselves that we have to spoke on this. So what we have did, I remember in 1990 I have started my career, and I talked to my professor that, sir, thank you very much, today I have appointed as a lecturer. What my professor has, he was a Professor B.P. Kamlesh from Rohilkhand University. Now he is not with us, but then also I remember every time he said me that, Rashmi, you have become a lecturer, you are going to teach the student, right? But remember this, how old you have become, how much experience you have, how much you have a knowledge, but then also when you are going to teach your student, first open your book, read that topic, because you don't know what the student is going to question you. And you have to answer them satisfied question. If you are not answering the satisfied question, means that the student will fail you. And now this is the time when new education policy is implementing in our education. Student will fail us. They will reject that this teacher is not able to teach me because this teacher don't know very well. I know very well, because as earlier I said that our students are Google students. They are learning lot of things through the Google. When we talk about the technology, and lot of our speakers has spoke about the AI, DI, VR, VL. Artificial intelligence is what? 1 week before I was thinking that earlier in my mobile, the news was coming related with the foreign trade. But what happened now, that news is not coming. Then I remember that time I was teaching foreign trade in the class. So my mobile is a smartphone. It was listening that I was teaching related with the international business. So I was getting a news related with the GDP, related with the news, related with the foreign trade, what the policies are going, what the policies are changing. Means that we have a smartphone in our hand. We have a smart TV at home. Whatever we are talking, our TV is capturing us, our mobile is capturing, and they are returning us. So this is the artificial intelligence. So we should have to be aware. If technology is a benefit for us, then there is a lot of challenges also. So absolutely right, sir, that our country have a poor people, but those have entered in the college, they are not a poor. They are able to pay the fees. They are able to spend lot of money for their entertainment. But if we talk about the education, if we say pay the fees, that time they say, abhi to hamare paas nahi hai. If we charge fine, they say, abhi to hamare paas nahi hai. So this is very important. And if we say technology, teachers are from the rural part, then also they have to enter in the technology, because future is with the technology. Thank you very much. A lot of the questions are coming. This is a discussion.
See, we have just 3 minutes to conclude. What I will say is that, see, there is no question of using technology or not using technology. Education is in an evolving mode. And there was Gurukul system that we had in ancient history. Then I don't know how many of you know that there was a wooden board we used to carry, and gachi was there, and you used to quote it. Then with shai ke saath hum log likhte the. Then you have that slates in your hand. It evolved. Then you had classrooms. Earlier they used to sit on the floor. Then you had chairs. Then you had blackboards, then you had whiteboards, then you had markers, then you had digital boards. Now you have cameras installed in the classroom. You can access cameras all across the globe. And now we are again talking about the new things. So simulations we were already using before COVID. There's nothing new in this. If we say that we are imbibing technology, we were already adopting technology prior to COVID. The only thing is the speed at which now we have to adopt is quite, higher than what it was earlier. Nobody could have thought that Indian lecturers would be taking online classes had it not been COVID. There was a one-day transformation, and next week you just came to know that there were free apps like Google Meet, or maybe you were having a WebEx, or maybe there's certain Chinese apps that you use. and there's then MS Teams. But industry was already using these apps for their meetings. Let me tell you honestly, a few of my friends, they are Microsoft director. So industry was already using these online apps for their meetings. It was just that we started taking classes on these. So I personally feel that education is evolving, and let's go with the flow, and let's not rigidly say that technology is not useful. Partially, and at a slow speed we can adopt it, we can use it in a hybrid mode. But yes, with these pandemics coming in, and with teachers getting equipped with technological tools, this is an asset. We should really appreciate and accept it.
Thank you. I suppose a parting shot, final parting shot from Dr. Ani. Would you like to throw any light, sir?
As my colleagues told, it's not about the edtech is good or bad. It's about the holistic development of a student. Yes, the mental health, physical health, and the skills. These three things are required. And one thing is very sure, nothing can replace a teacher. Or we can say the whiteboard teaching. These edtechs is a tool which make the life of a teacher, a student, basically a learner, easy. If we say whether the students can afford the mobile phones or not, it's not a question. The question is whether this technology is required or not. And if yes, it is required, then our governments should come forward to fill this gap. It's not a very big challenge to provide a network to all the villages. Yes, there is an issue. We have a student from J&K, and they have the problems. They don't have the 4G, 5G connection, 3G, 4G connections. Yes, there is an issue. Yes, there can be an economical, financial problem with the issues, but all these problems have solutions. Even the ASCT, I think 6 months before, given a circulation that all the colleges should open their computer labs to all the students of the nearby villages so that they can use the facility for the learning purpose. And one thing is very sure, this edtech will be with us for the long time because it is a benefit for the students as well as the faculty members. Even I can give two live examples. I'm a person from mathematics, but I have changed my field to the machine learning and data science. And the credit goes to this edtech. Because in this COVID time, I have enough time, I start learning from this edtech SWAM portals and NPTEL. I attended certain FDPs. Then my interest comes toward this machine learning, AI, and data science. And the beauty is, and today I am teaching the students to data science and AI ML. Another example is my 2.5-year daughter. हमने उसको कभी books नहीं दिखाई, but one day suddenly she start singing ABCD, and then we realize कि वो जो Google पर रोज rhymes देखती है, that rhymes become a source of learning, and without our interference, without our intentions, now she knows about A to Z. Even she knows not A for apple only, she knows A for Anika, A for apple. So this is the beauty of edtech. Yes, there is a certain limitations in our socio-economic country, rural backgrounds, but these gaps can be filled with the right intention of our governments. But we should go with this. Yes, this is one thing which is required. There is a lot of checks on the colleges, schools, and university. There should be some regulation by the governments who can check whether the content delivered by these edtech companies should be up to the mark. There should be certain regulation like this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful confluence
I have to
of
say one
different thoughts.
thing,
Yeah, ma'am,
that
please.
we are talking related with the technology and entering in every sector. And everybody remember that in 2014 when Prime Minister was our Mr. Narendra Modi, that time there was one message, Digital India. I think that time we were thinking that what is Digital India? But COVID has made digital world. At the time of the demonetization, when the currency was not running, that time also we have started to pay through Paytm, Google, and now everybody is using Google Pay. Means that every have learned that how to transfer our money through Google Pay. If we say you have to deposit this money, they are very perfect and they are comfortable to transfer their money through online. What is that? That is a technology. So every student have to learn technology, and in future, technology is going more and more advanced. So to teach the student, we have to learn first, then our student will be a good technology with the new education.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, would you like to say something?
To conclude the discussion, I will focus that we are not against the technology, but we have to learn about the ground realities. The ground reality is that there is no replacement of teacher. If there is no teacher, education can't be survived. Number two, we can't ignore the poor background of our society, either in hilly areas or rural areas. What about saying, ma'am, about Apple phone and this and that? They are not appliances in the rural background. They are seen in the cities only. I had been Vice Chancellor in 5 universities, and all government universities. I have seen the real scene of India. The students are really poor. You can't ignore their behavior. There is no network. Almora, Bageshwar,
Chakori.
You see the geography of the states. Mobile is not working there. Computer is not working there. So, I conclude that teacher is must for teaching, better teaching. Number two, the technology is must, but the technology must be provided by the government itself. As laboratories are raised in such colleges, government colleges, inter-colleges, schools, there is no gadgets. Until and unless we have rich laboratories and edutech, this scenario can't be survived. If we have to go to this scenario, then we must focus on poor first. And poor are 33% in this country, below poverty line. They have mobiles, but only in cities, not in rural. We have to concentrate on this parameter.
Great. So I would like to complete, with sir's point. See, I mean, you better learn technology. You need to have techno skills. But what is more important than technology is, there are certain core skills like your communication, attitude, interpersonal relationships, because until you have all these, you cannot, you'll never be tempted to learn any new technology or any new, arrival. And as far government is concerned, they are already supporting. You see, every now and then, some governments say, मुफ्त में laptop देते हैं, मुफ्त में Android phones आते हैं. So indirectly they are supporting. Yes, it is true that network is a problem. So over a period of time, I suppose, this situation also will be, of course, yes, very right.
At the same time, I must point out India has the largest internet network in the world.
Yeah, of course. So, but against population, it is nowhere. It is just a drop in the ocean. So thank you so much, sir. Wonderful session. Thank you so much. I believe I have...
in the last, one thing to say you, sir ne technology ko to kaha, it's okay, sir ne conclude kar diya, but then also, there is a one question in my mind. We have created technology. Technology has not created human being. So technology को चलाने वाले हम हैं. Technology हमें नहीं चलाएगी. So how to use the technology, that is depend on the human being. Thank you very much.
On that note, can we have a big round of applause for this wonderful panel? They have contributed so much and they have presented a varied perspective of technology implementation in the education sector. Can we have a big round of applause for this panel? Now I would like to request Abhishek Tomar, Senior Manager, Elets Technomedia, to please come on the stage and give memento to our panelists. First, we have Dr. T.R. Pandey, Director, Ajay Kumar Garg, Institute of Management, Ghaziabad. A big round of applause for sir for curating this panel so well. A big round of applause for sir, please. Professor K.S. Rana, Vice Chancellor, Starex University, Gurugram. Dr. Vikas, Dhawan, Pro Vice Chancellor, Shree Guru Gobind Singh Tricentenary University. Professor Dr. Rashmi, Gujrati, Director, KC Group of Institutes, Nawanshahr. A big round of applause for ma'am. Sharma, Campus Director, Gulzar Group of Institutes, Ludhiana. Dr. P.K. Banga, Principal, Amritsar Group of Colleges, Amritsar. A big round of applause for sir. With the memento and magazine.